Good evening, participants. Our guest speaker, Professor Narendra Rahul, is here. So there will be a small introduction about sir.
Good evening, all. It's our pleasure to introduce Mr. Narendra Rahul, the founder and CEO of Partner Technologies and Meda AP Farms. He is a certified trainer and Six Sigma Green Belt holder. He was awarded World 3 in International Innovation Fair 2017, in which 37 countries participated, and he received the award from our ex-Chief Minister, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu. He was honored with a stall in AP Agritech Summit by the government of AP, and the chief guest for this event is Mr. Bill Gates.
So Rahul sir, I kindly request you to take over the session.
So, am I audible to you guys? Can anyone say wave your hand or something? Say yes or something in the chat box. I think I'm audible. Yeah, thank you. So, I'm Narendra Rahul, founder and CEO of Parna Technologies. And thank you for the introduction. So I should thank my team only for giving this introduction. Wonderful introduction. Thank you, team. So without any delay, let me start my topic for today. It's startups, goals, innovation, entrepreneurship, and also government schemes. Is my video clear? Yeah. Government schemes and also some important like interesting videos and also my startup journey. We'll just divide this 1 hour and don't mind if I take 10 minutes more. Let's do it like let's make the best use of it of this time. I'll try my level best. So first of all, before starting my session, I would like to thank all of you for attending these sessions of Make India Proud just 2020. For sure, we will be coming with a bang on new project and new program within shortly. You'll be getting to know what exactly Make India Proud Season 2 is very shortly. Probably after my session in 2-3 days, in a couple of days. So first of all, I just want to ask you one question in regards to Make India Proud. See, like in India, there are many trades like architect, like people like working some in different trades. Architect, there is an architect, there's a doctor. Everyone has a single and like not a common but single and owned, what do you say, knowledge sharing platforms. Do we have any common knowledge sharing platform in all over India? Can anyone say like yes or no in the chat box? Do we have a common knowledge sharing platform in India where everyone will be present of every trade, like every stream people will be present, like a doctor, an engineer, whatnot, everything, an architect, an agri supporter, agri specialist, a foodie, a chef, a designer, a hairstylist, everyone will be present in that knowledge sharing platform. Is anyone aware of that thing? Do we have, sir? Surendra Garu, do we have, sir, a common knowledge sharing platform? Fine. I was waiting for a response actually. That's not an issue. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you. So Make India Proud is going to provide this. We are going to start it very soon. And for sure, you'll get to know and try to make the best use of this platform also. And without any further delay, let me share my screen with you guys. So if the organizing team, I mean my team, if they make me the host, I can do this. Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. So guys, can I start? Just a second. So can you see my screen? Just open the chat box. Wait, let me open the chat box. No. So should we start? Fine. Goals, startup, entrepreneurship, innovation, and government schemes. So what do you mean by goals? Okay. What is a goal? A name or an objective towards an endeavor is directed. Everyone has a goal. But if you have a, what do you say, a direction, a proper vision towards your goal, towards your, what you want to do and everything, your well-being and everything in a proper direction, that is a goal. And the purpose for setting a goal is it keeps you focused. And wherever you want to go, it directs you, it indicates you what you want to do and what you should do. So that is the purpose of setting a goal. And you can achieve it within a very short time, and that too in a very peculiar stage, in a peculiar state. Like, what are the major parameters for setting up your goals? First thing, your goals should be specific. What do you mean? What do you think that I mean by specific? Dear participants, kindly don't scribble on the screen. Thank you for that. It means I feel that if you scribble on the screen, I feel that you loved the slide. You loved the slide and you're in love with the slide. Thank you so much. I take it as a compliment. So like setting up your goals should be specific and always realistic, rather than being unrealistic. For suppose, if a person who is earning around 10,000 per month, he's earning 10, approving, just a second. If a person who's earning 10,000 per month and he aiming for buying a Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche, is it specific, realistic, or unrealistic? What is it? Why can't I see the chat box? Yeah, I can see it now. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So kindly tell me, like, this thing. Yes, unrealistic. Yes, yes. So what do you mean? What do you think I mean by that? Always your goals should be specific. See, you know what you are, you know which direction you're going in, and your goal is going in, and what do you say, like your focus, in which way it is directed into. So you need to have a realistic approach, a specific approach, time specific. For every goal, you need to have few parameters like short term, mid term, and long term goal, long term time specific things. For example, let me tell you one thing. If you are pursuing your schooling or 10th standard, or like for example, if you're pursuing your 12th standard, excuse me, if you are planning for getting good marks in that particular examination, is a short term goal. If you're planning to get good marks in your graduation, that is your mid term goal. But if you're planning to get settled in a very good and a lavish way, that's your long term goal, and be prepared for that. Priority. You need to prioritize your goals, whatever it might be, in which way you're directed into. That is the major important thing. Analysis of your current financial situation. Smart goals should be fixed with time bound environmental factors and all. Yes, sir. Siv Surendra, sir. Yes, that's true, sir. That's true. Analysis of your current financial situation. You need to identify what you are at that point of time and make sure you develop very good in a very good note on a very short period, in a very short period. Budgeting. What all you have, jot it down on a paper, budget it, fix it into your budget, and plan it accordingly. Make your goals move accordingly to that, so that for the next thing, the setup plan, you can do a bang on. You can come up with an idea or a goal, and you can achieve it very for sure. And the next thing, fine. Startup. What do you guys know about startup? Can anyone like type something here? Because after this slide, this is small interesting what do you say, a quiz for you, small interesting quiz for you, just 2-question quiz for everyone. Can you say what's a startup in your own words? Anyone? It can be a one-word answer. Even if it's wrong, don't feel shy. According to a Colonel, sir, what is fear? False evidence. Yeah, false evidence appearing real. Give poll. Process of setting something in motion. Okay. Sunny. Okay. Okay. Confidence. Good. Idea into action, Akshita, Bairu Akshita. That's a good thing. Anything else? A budding firm? Fine, fine. Introducing as a new way, belief. Okay, fine. Let me tell you one thing. There are two different definitions, and it's my like I have a separate definition. I don't have a definition. Actually, I have a one-word answer for it. What is startup? I'll let you know in the next slide. Why is it? Fine. What is the government definition for this is even the government has one definition, and even we have one definition, and a general definition. A startup defined as an entity that is headquartered in India, which is less than 10 years ago and has an annual turnover of less than 100 crores. That is government definition. And whereas like our definition is a startup is a company that is in the first stage of its operations, blah, 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 blah. That is general definition what we have. But you know what my definition is? Startup is Jugaad. One word answer. Startup is Jugaad. What is this? Just a second. Organizers, please check some unwanted chat is being coming here. Please look into the chat box. Mr. Zoom owner, kindly do your chats in a private way, not to everyone. Thank you. So my point of view, what is a startup? Startup means Jugaad. Jugaad is the major thing what we should have and what we should think of. You know what Jugaad is? Jugaad means setting up everything which is unfavorable to you. Thinking everything in favorable to you, setting everything in favorable to you. For example, you want something without which your what do you say? 1 second. Yeah, balancing the condition. Startup is anyone's business established. Okay, fine. You want anything to happen, and unfortunately, that is not with you. What do you do? Like for example, when I was a child, like in my childhood, I used to borrow. What do you say? I used at that point of time, the only enjoyment I used to have is video games and PlayStation. What I used to do is I used to have only 1 or 2 CDs with me, 1 or 2 game CDs with me. I used to borrow it from my friends. That is called Jugaad. That is what I used to do. Thank you for the scribbling part. I can understand that you loved the slide, that you're in love with the slide. Thank you so much. Even I love you too. Fine. I'll just a small guess. Just a small guess here. Organizer, can you please remove the scribbles? It's really disturbing. This is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous, guys. You can't even see what I'm showing it to you. Please let me know if you're not interested. The host has option to disable the screen sharing. But if they disable the screen sharing, I can't share my screen, ma'am. Am I audible to you now? Thank you. Let me go back to my other slide, which I was showing earlier. Srinivas, what is this? I can't project it. Like a what do you say? Full screen. It's not going into full screen mode. Can you please recheck it?
Yeah.
So am I audible and you can see the screen now? Can anyone say yes or something so that I can acknowledge that you have understood it? Can anyone say yes in the chat box? I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat box. What happened to it? Yeah, I can see it. Fine. So let me ask you one thing. Guess it. Can everyone see my screen? Read the first question. They initially started as a dating or a matrimonial site, but now they are not doing that. This is, I bet, in everyone's mobile, this app will be there, and for sure you will fail to answer this question. If you people know, you might answer. If you don't know, 100% you will fail to answer this question. They initially started as a dating and matrimonial site, and you have only 10 seconds. I'll just count 10 seconds, and you should tell me the answer, because 10 seconds is more than enough for one to Google it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. And the second one, they started it to form a social network for drinkers. They started it in such a way, but now they're not doing in that way. They are completely in a different pattern, and they have earned lots of money. They are now a multi-millionaire companies, and they are now in a very good position, hiring many people all over India, all over the world. You know who are they? Instagram. Oh, someone said the right answer here. Someone did the research. Mohan Sai Nunila, Raj Sumant. Yes, sir. Sujit, my friend, that's not Tinder. Instagram, yes. The first one is YouTube, and the second one is Instagram. Initially, YouTube was started in this way. For example, if you go to a matrimonial site, what do you see? Like you post your photo, and he or she will be posting his or her photo. You'll be like, the photos will be matching, etc., etc. But what YouTube planned earlier was, they planned of like we ourselves recording a video, a bride or bridegroom will record the video and they'll post it on YouTube, so that it's like a matrimonial site. But unfortunately, when they started this, they didn't get even one participant or one video what got uploaded. They got like, what do you say, they got somewhat underrated or something. The mind got bang on, boom off, whatever it might be. So what they thought is, like, they gave access for every video. They asked the people to upload any video of your kind. Then a random guy posted a dance video of Michael Jackson. The first video of YouTube was dance video of Michael Jackson. So then from that time, it's a bang on, and YouTube was like flooded with many videos. Each and every person can open a channel by his own and upload a video of his own. It's easily accessible, and now, as of now, every phone has YouTube in it. And the second thing, they started it to form a social networking for drinkers. Instagram, like somewhat interesting, right? Fine. Let's go to the next slide. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who organizes everything: the capital, land, labor, operations, whatnot, everything, controlling everything, keeping everything under his control, and working together with all the team, giving importance to whole team's decision, working with them together, grabbing profits, growing the company. He's an entrepreneur. As I said, the definition is, an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and manages business, assuming risk for the sake of profit, And most important thing is entrepreneur. Like there's no age barrier for an entrepreneur. Anyone can become an entrepreneur. Let me tell you a story here. An elephant and the blind men. What do you see? What did you understand by this? Seeing this? Do anyone have an idea of this picture in this story? Can everyone see the picture on this? What do you say on my slide? Can everyone see the picture? Anyone say yes? Am I not audible to you? Why aren't you texting on the chat box? I was waiting for many responses and everything. Yes. Thanks, Pujita. Thank you. So let me start the story. There are a few blind men walking in a forest. 6 blind men having touch of an elephant and each having their own perceptions. Yes, Sharon, you're true. Buddy, you're really true. Like from the day one, I was observing your responses and your questions. It's really like interesting. Very intellectual you are. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you for this. Thank you, Anil sir. It's an elephant. All the blind people are walking in a forest, and all of this sudden an elephant comes in their way, and each and every guy will touch it and say like each part of elephant. They touch each and every part of elephant and it is like one guy will touch the trunk and he'll say that it's a spear. One guy will touch the elephant's ear and he says it's a fan. One guy will touch its trunk and it says it's a snake. One guy touches its body and says it's a ball. Elephant's leg is a tree, and elephant's tail is somewhat a snake or something again. But all the blind men are correct in their own perception, but ultimately they are wrong. In their perception, they are true, but ultimately they are wrong. Then a wise man who's passing by that way, he'll come in the middle and he'll tell them that guys, chill mode. This is not what you think. This is an elephant. So then all these blind men get to know that it's an elephant. So always in a life, like whenever we think the direction is always right. Yes, sir, all are correct, but in their own perception. Yes, sir. Yes, that's true. We think that we are always right, but unfortunately, we might be wrong. But always there'll be a person who will be guiding you. Who will be letting you know what exactly the truth is. And always he can be your team. He can be beside you, everything. A team decision and an intellectual decision is always important in entrepreneurship. That's why I've told you the story. What are the 3 assets an entrepreneur need to be profitable and sustainable? They are money, capital. You know, like every single penny you get as capital, you need to make sure how you spend it, where you spend it, where it is required. That is the second term actually, a know-how expertise. You need to know where are you going to spend your money, like where it is required, where it is not required, rather than wasting your money. Save it. You can use it for other purposes, whereas you can buy some other things which is an add-on to your venture. In a team, you need to have a proper team who will be functioning and working with you. Will be like jaan de denge bhai, jaan dena padega. Like you need to have a team of such type so that you can achieve really good heights. And after this, like many of you have a doubt, like what is the situation after a pandemic like COVID? How can we how can we bring it back to a normal stage? But my friends, I should say you this: diagnosis of your business plan is must and should. Because for example, let's consider a roadside tiffin seller. What is like the business plan which he was having earlier? It's a failure now. He can't move further with that business model because this COVID had made him to has urged him to change his business model, because he need to diagnose it, because he need to take some precautions which attracts the customers, and it can be his thing. Another thing is cash. When you're restarting or recoming with a new business model. Am I audible? My internet connection is unstable. It's showing my internet connection. Fine. Cash. When you're starting a new model, you need to have like how much cash you need to be in hand, like take like in hand cash and everything, and where to spend it and everything. Expenses and revenue sources. You need to have a clear picture of it. If anyone's having some business or something, please do follow these 3 processes, because it will fetch you good sustainability and profitability for sure, my friends. Access to capital. You need to have access to capital. Sandeep Reddy, Reality, please turn off your camera, my friend. Fine. Sorry. That is the access to capital. Let me show you a funny meme. 9 to 5 job and entrepreneur. This is my sort of preference or something. And what, according to me, what innovation is? Innovation is thinking out of the box. And dear, let me tell you one more story. How many of you know this story? A white stone, or like two pebbles story. Anyone heard the story, two pebbles story? I'm going a bit fast because my schedule is quite high. Like I'm packed with the thing. After this, I'll show you my, I'll show you some videos and also my concepts of my startups. That's why I'm moving a bit fast. If anyone's having any problem or any questions, please do. You can ask me. Chat box. Anyone of you know this story? White pebble and a black pebble, two pebble story. Fine, I'll tell you the story. Listen. In a village, there was a poor farmer. And in that village, there was a wicked, ugly, and dangerous landlord and a money lender. A dangerous landlord and a money lender who looks ugly, dangerous, and disgusting, to be frank. And there's a poor farmer, and that poor farmer has a beautiful daughter. This wicked, cunning money lender has a wicked plan in his mind, and he'll go to that farmer and says that, I want my debts to be cleared right now. I want you to pay all my money right now. Unfortunately, the farmer doesn't have any money with him, not even a single penny, my friends. So what did the farmer do? He says, sir, I can't repay it right now. I've asked you enough time. Even you granted it that time, but now I can't repay you. So then the money lender says, okay, fine. I have a deal with you. I have a deal for you. This deal makes you that you no need of paying any money to me, but you need to get your daughter married with me. He wants the farmer to marry his daughter to this wicked money lender because she's a very gorgeous lady, my friends. She was a very gorgeous lady, and this wicked and ugly money lender wants to marry that girl. So he says that there's a plan for it. I'll put two pebbles, one black pebble and one white pebble in a pouch, in a bag. And in front of the village, your daughter should pick a stone out of that pouch. If she picks a white stone, my friend, she no need of marrying the money lender, and all her father's debts will be cleared. If she picks a black stone, she need to marry the money lender, and all her father's debts will be cleared. This was the condition kept by the wicked money lender. And at the times there, and the money lender is about to put the stones into the bag. This cunning guy, this cunning stupid fellow, what he did, he kept two black stones in it purposefully, because when she picks a stone, it will obviously be black in color, and she should marry him. This cunning fellow did that, and this cunning act was being noticed by our heroine of this film, of this story. She noticed that this guy did put two black stones into the pouch, and when she was about to take a stone out in front of the whole village, you know what she did? She thought out of the box. She kept her hand into the pouch. She removed one stone. Wantedly, she dropped that stone. That white stone, she picked up a stone, and wantedly she dropped the stone down. So everyone was confused. Everyone was not aware which stone did she pick up. So what she did, what was the statement she made was, dear sir, please check the pouch again. I'm sorry, unfortunately it happened by mistakenly. So it's like what happened was happened. We can't bring it back. We can't notice what happened. We don't have any, third empire or something for that. So I request you to show the stone which is in the pouch. If it is a black stone, then I have picked a white stone. If it is a white stone, then I have picked a black stone. So please show me the other stone in the pouch. That tells me which stone I have picked up. When the money lender, he knows, he got fussed up and he got caught. He'll take the stone out. It's obviously a black stone. That means, my friends, what does that mean? That means the gorgeous lady, the heroine of this film, has picked a white stone, but it's not a white stone apparently. So this is what thinking out of the box is. This was the story I've learned long back ago, thinking out of the box. So this is really inspiring, at that point, like how a student, how a normal village girl thought, it is really inspiring. Sorry, she said to see the pouch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So going back to the next slide. Are you ready to watch some videos? I'll show you some videos. Like real, they are really inspiring. There are a few set of innovations which I've seen recently. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see the video, participants? I didn't get any reply. Okay, fine. Sorry for the interruption. Can anyone guess the price for this bag? Can anyone guess the price for this bag? How much you think does it cost? I can't see the chat box. Can anyone? Sorry, chat box. 12, 15, 5, 25. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, many of you are right. It's less than 10. That bag and that portable ecological bag is just less than 10 rupees. So this is one video which I thought of showing you, and followed by the second window. There is one more video in the lineup. There are 3 videos. Please do look into it.
I ordered for idli sambar, and the spoon is put in it. As he was putting the spoon, I grabbed it from his hand. I ran my thumb on it. It was greasy. I took a sniff of it. It was already smelling of sambar. It's been reused. We know plastic has got so many chemical complexes in it. Phthalates, chelates, bisphenols. These cause cancer. These leach into food. They don't biodegrade, but still we're using a whole lot of plastic disposable cutlery. Why are we doing this? Answer obviously is there is no alternative. Oh well, we have an alternative now. We'll come up with an alternative, and that is edible cutlery. Here there is no coating. In fact, it is entirely nutritious. You can eat up the spoon. Delicious. It is made of jowar blended with rice and wheat without preservatives, just like dehydrated vegetables. Our product also has a very long shelf life of more than 3 years. In fact, you can even have a hot soup also. You can stir your sugar and have your tea. You can eat it up. You don't want to eat it, you can just throw it. It decomposes within 4 to 5 days.
विश्वास नहीं हुआ, पहले बार देखे तो लकड़ी समझी नहीं, मगर गांव में स्टार्ट होके काम शुरू किया बार साग में डाल के अपन खाए, बहुत टेस्टी रहता मैडम। आपने कभी खाने के चम्मच के बारे में सुना है? आपको एक सैंपल देती हूँ। आप अगर स्पून को काटेंगे तो स्पून का फ्लेवर आएगा। इसमें जीरा, अजवाइन, रॉक सॉल्ट, ब्लैक पेपर मिलाते हैं और इसको बेक करते हैं। तो आप जब स्पून खाते हैं तो सिर्फ स्पून नहीं खा रहे, आप एक जौर रोटी खा रहे हैं।
When it comes to financing this, I had to put the only asset that I have, which is a flat where I'm residing, as a collateral security. And then got the loan because there's no such technology. We are the first in the world. So the technology had to be created. I brought in this edible cutlery and trying to promote a market for millets and motivate farmers to move away from rice. Plastic is very cheap, true, but I can make it as cheap. I can, with volumes. And once when I get the volumes, I get on to the farmers directly and start procuring raw materials directly from the farmers, in which case my spoons will be as cheap as the plastic spoons. So now the cutlery is tasty, fun, nutritious, and environment friendly. That's edible cutlery.
So he's Mr. Narayana Pisapati. I have met him a couple of times in Hyderabad. He's a very, he'll think very ahead. He looks everything in future. He thinks negative first. He assumes negative first, and which leads him into profit. That is his way of working. He's a very, very good gentleman. He's the first one in this world. Yes, sir. There's a chat, I think so, from Anil, sir. There are plenty more models like this for like this plates, pani puri bowls, etc. Yes, sir, I do agree. But he was the first person to start it. He is the creator of this in whole world. Edible cutlery. It was in 2011. Let me tell you about the government schemes now. Back to our presentations. Government schemes. So this is what I am specialized in the most thing. So coming to government schemes, like for example, if one is weaving a sari is a traditional industry. Sari weavers come under traditional industry sector. So if you want to implement or start such type of businesses like traditional, which comes under traditional industry, like what you say, sarees, sugar, jaggery, whatnot, everything. All these traditional consuming products come under traditional industry, and for this traditional industry, you alone will not get a government scheme. For getting that government scheme, what you need to do is identify people of your same platform, bring them under one roof, make them around 12 people in a team, and that with 12 people can be registered as a cluster. And this cluster, with this, then you should name this cluster, and with this cluster, you can apply for the scheme called Spurti. The full name of Spurti is Scheme of Funding under Regeneration of Traditional Industries. The name itself suggests regeneration of traditional industries. You know what? What do you get in Spurti? If you register yourself as a cluster in that Spurti scheme, excuse me. In that Spurti scheme, what you get is, there are two options which the government will give you. One is the whole capital amount, and the other second thing is place, missionary cost, and everything. These are the two options which government will give you. You need to choose either one of it. And under MSME, you get this model called Aspire. Even Aspire is somewhat related, same as this managed scheme, which is, you can see it below. I hope you can see this. Okay. Aspire is a different scheme. Aspire, like you need to pitch in front of the investors, like the government investors. They will fetch you good. They'll give you like they'll analyze the potentiality in your idea and they'll give you funding according to that. It can be a place or it can be a in sort of money, either place or money, not the missionary. That is Aspire. Whereas coming to manage, it's completely related only with agriculture sector. Only agriculture sector startups and enterprises can apply for managed scheme. Under managed scheme, what you can get is management RAKVY Raftar. What you can do under this is you need to pitch in front of them for the team, and they'll instantly give you 5 lakhs. If they found potentiality in your idea, they'll give you 5 lakhs immediately, and you need to work with that 5 lakhs in a certain period of time, which they will give you. You need to come out with a prototype, proof of concept, and statement of purpose. If you have all these 3 ready, they'll give you 25 lakhs as initial startup investment for you. That is managed scheme. Like this, these are the 3 major benefited schemes for startups, any startups. And apart from that, we have like few initiatives of Invest India, like Agni and everything. Even Agni, all these guys are like good in sponsoring. So this is what under government schemes. SWOT analysis. Everyone, like see, even me, what I do is when I'm performing something, when I'm talking about something, what I do, the first and foremost thing what I do is SWOT analysis. I do analyze myself. Without myself analyzing my potentiality and anything, I can't do anything. SWOT analysis is very important thing. What is SWOT? S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threats. You should analyze yourself with this SWOT principle. Then you'll come to know to a conclusion what exactly you're facing and what exactly you're going to do. This is SWOT analysis. Better try once. See, everyone has a unique point in everyone, right? See, for example, you study well, you work well, you have some good passion. Like take that into mind, take that into consideration, and perform SWOT analysis on you on that in regarding to that particular passion of yours. Then you'll get a clear picture of what you are. 3 not audible. Fine. Okay, I'm repeating. Sorry. Grover ji, repeat kar raha hu. SWOT analysis. SWOT, S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threats. Threat. So everyone has an inbuilt passion in you. Everyone has an inbuilt passion in you. When you want to unleash that inbuilt passionate beast out of you, what you need to do is apply or perform SWOT analysis on that unleashed output. So you'll get a clear picture of what you are and what exactly you're going to do with that passionate beast. So that is SWOT analysis. 3 major reasons for failure. See, always everyone has a fear of failure. What if I fail? What if I can't do it? What if I unable to do it? See, for example, guys, I'll give myself as an example. When I just started this Parna Technologies thing, I failed for 6 times. And I got the success in my 7th attempt. So I should say you this: whenever you fail, even if you fail, don't give up. Come on, go on. When you're learning cycle, when you're starting to learn new cycle, like when you're starting to learn cycle, 2 to 3 times we'll fail, we'll get hurt. We'll not give up that thing. We'll still do that. We'll start it. We'll learn it. We'll pioneer it. That is what you need to do, and that is what I should suggest you. Another thing is fear of rejection. What if they reject me? What if they say no? All these things, even these should be taken into consideration. Never ever work for someone. Work for yourself. Believe in you. You can do it for sure. Low self-esteem. I should say, I just as I said it earlier, you should have belief in you. No one is going to help you in any way. You should believe in you. You should grow higher. Grow higher until you reach some certain height. Sky is the limit. So I will, with this, I'll show you my journey. What is my journey exactly into this? Sorry. I just opened one more thing. Can everyone see this presentation? Can everyone see this presentation? Can anyone text me? Yeah. I hope you'll find this one interesting, because this is my startup Parna Technologies, not a startup anymore. It was started in 2013 and got registered in 2016. Now it's an LLP. My product is smart watering system. You know, before going into the further slides, I'll ask you one question. Have you ever thought you can grow a plant without soil, that too using a smartphone? Have you ever thought about it? That you can grow a plant without soil and that too using a smartphone? Is there any have you ever given a thought like that? No, yes. Fine. But yes, you can grow your plant with your smartphone and that too without using soil. I'll tell you how. Let's go into detail. Like, these are the practical problems which we are facing right now in this current scenario. Lack of labor, less availability of land, excessive usage of chemicals, extended climatic conditions, and excessive usage of water. See, lack of labor. In this current scenario, everyone is planning to go through its radiation. Sorry, sir, there is no radiation in it. इसमें SIM कुछ नहीं रहते, sir. It's completely runs on code. It completely runs on code. There is no radiation in it. So it doesn't affect the plant in any way. Lack of labor. In this current scenario, every farmer is planning to go out of the village and they want to do some job or something rather than working in the field. In this current state, this is what we are facing. If there is no person as a farmer, what will we eat? And what will the farmer will get benefit out of? What will he eat? This is what is like a question to me, and I did this survey and I did this startup. Less availability of land. We have a very small land available with us. Whatever land which is present with us, it's like completely occupied with some big people and something like that. Like let's don't go deeper into that. Excessive usage of chemicals. In the limited land which we have, in order to get excessive yield, what people are doing is they're using hybrid things. They're giving injections and they're spraying some sprays and everything. So that is excessive usage of chemicals. It can harm our immune system also by if we consume that sort of vegetables and everything. Climatic conditions. We can never predict or assume climatic conditions. And excessive usage of water. These are the problems. What are the solutions to it? And the solutions are right on your screens. No soil, water saving, higher yields. I'll call it no pesticide use. I don't call it, rather than calling it less pesticide, because I don't use pesticide at all. And other thing is affordable. Someone raise your hand. Sorry for going out. Can you repeat the problems? So what should I repeat? Should I repeat the problem or solution? The solutions for this are no soil, water saving, higher yields, less pesticide use, and affordable. I'll call it no pesticide rather than less pesticides. I'll tell you why. No soil. Like let's talk about the properties of soil. What a soil gives us. A soil is the properties of soil are, it gives nutrition to the plant and supports its growth. Number one. Number two, it holds the plant tight, not letting it move away. This is number two. Number three, it absorbs water and retain moisture to the plant. These are the three properties which are given by the soil, justified by the soil. Am I right? Can anyone say yes or no? Any add-ons or something? Can anyone say something in the chat box? I'm waiting. Any yes or no, something like any add-ons or something? Yes, thank you. So these are the three properties what a soil does. How am I doing it without soil? That is your question that I'm going to answer it right now. Instead of soil, like we extract organic nutrient, provide adequate nutrient and minerals. Yes, Vandana ji, like we do that, adequate nutrient and mineral, but not in a chemical format, completely in an organic format. We'll extract those nutrients directly from the soil. What all nutrients which are present in the soil, we extract them in a lab, and we add that liquid into the water. What about micronutrients? We have the micronutrients too. Like what we do is we mix a powder of I'll tell you the solution. It might be a benefit to you. Just a second. Let me tell you, like after completion of this, I'll give you 2 suggestions for if any garden lovers and if any plant lovers are there in this. Not using microorganisms, sir. Micronutrients are things like manganese, ferrous, and everything. So we take this liquid and mix it in the water too. And this water will get pumped up in the pipe. You'll be seeing the prototype in the next slides. It will be pumped up vertically or also horizontally, and that will get, yes, it is hydroponics. Yes, it is hydroponics. Hydroponics. This water nutrient in contact with the roots, and these roots, that nutrient support is enough for the plant to grow. And in order to hold the plant tight, we use clay pebbles, and these clay pebbles hold the plant, absorb water, and also retain moisture to the plant. All the properties are justified now. Water saving. See, when you have a traditional farm in your house, you need to, what do you say, like you need to water it every twice a day or something. But whereas in this system, if you refill water for 10 days, that water will be used for 10 days. It will be nutrient enriched, and that water is enough for the plant to grow. It will go up, falls down as in a form of a rain by making a contact with all the roots, and that nutrient water will be collected back into the container at the bottom, and that will be a cyclic process. Higher yields. In traditional farming, nutrients are not released by the soil regularly. The nutrients are released periodically, like temporarily in a periodic intervals, not regularly. But whereas in this system, we'll give you constant nutrient support for around 5 to 6 times a day. We'll give it like around 5 to 6 times a day, so that the yield will be higher compared. Around 55% of higher yield we can get in this system. No pesticide use. Why I say no pesticide use? Because I use organic methods. For example, can anyone say how many have rose plant in their house? I'm seeing in the chat box. How many of you have rose plant in your house? So, have you ever observed some white fungus forming on the branches and leaves? Some white branch, like a fungus sort of thing, egg sort of thing, like forming on the rose plant. Yes. In this platform, I'm giving you an organic solution. Please do use it. That will be really useful. If the fungus is in a starting stage, not only for rose plant, you can use this solution for any plant for any bacteria, any pests or something, anything. If the bacteria or pests are in the initial stage, what I suggest is take a bowl of curd, ferment it for 15 days. Take a bowl of curd, ferment it for 15 days. After 15 days, blend it finely, dilute it, and spray that diluted curd or buttermilk, what you say, onto that fermented buttermilk, onto that pesticide. That will, mildew spores on plants. Yes, that will kill this white fungi sort of thing. This is when the fungi is in initial stage. If the fungus is in a higher note, what you should do is take neem leaves, tulsi leaves, like gomutram. Mix all these three, boil it. You'll form like a thick solution will be formed. Dilute it and spray it again on the plant. Even if the bacteria or pest is on a higher note, it will die because it's completely organic. This is what I do for my plants, for my plants in my startup and everything. I prefer organic. And for flower lovers, for plant lovers and flower lovers, if you expect more flowers a day, if your plant is giving somewhat like around 10 flowers a day, and you're expecting for more than 25 flowers a day, there's a solution for it. I'll give you a trick. You have banana leaves, right? We have banana peels of banana. We eat the banana and we throw the peel generally. Take that peels, collect those peels, and let them dry. Let them dry for 3-4 days in hot sun. They'll turn black and hard in nature. Then blend that into powder, fine powder, and mix that powder in little amount of water into and make it as a thick solution. And without disturbing the root ball of the plant, just remove small soil, like make a circle around the root ball, and like drop that what do you say, the fertilizer, the banana peel fertilizer in this, a complete organic sort of a root ball. This will go in contact the roots, and the flowers will be blooming like anything. It'll be a bang on. There'll be many flowers coming day and day, every day. Not only that, there's an alternative for it also. If you don't want to do in such a way, you can take a airtight container, add some water, and cut the banana peels into small portions. Add them in water, put them in water for 15-20 days. Then it will release some fibers, because banana consists of iron and everything, calcium, iron and everything. That will be like fibers, like small fibers will get released out, and take that water. Go in contact with the nutrients, with the roots. And really in my house too. Coming back to the presentation, this is how it actually works. You see there's a plant over there, right? You can see the plant over there, and that there's a sensor. My voice is not clear. Should I repeat, Akshita? Okay, from where you want me to repeat? Should I say about that banana peel fertilizer again? Okay, trick to grow, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, Snehit, I'll look into it. Thank you. Fine. Am I clear and audible enough? Is my voice clear and audible enough? Okay, fine. Take a banana peel, put it into sunlight, put it under sunlight, let it dry for more than around 3-4 days. It'll dry completely. It'll turn black in color. It'll turn hard like a rock. Blend it into fine powder. Add some water into the powder. Make it into a thick liquid solution. For example, this is a plant, and this is the root ball of the plant. Without disturbing this root ball, just remove the soil from these sides around the root ball. Add that thick liquid solution. That will go directly in contact with the roots. And these roots, like nutrient contacted roots, gives a boost for the floral plant, and it gives more than what you expect. Like if you're getting 10 flowers a day, it will be doubled or tripled. You can get 20 to 25 flowers a day. This is one technique. Another technique is, you can take the same banana peel, take an airtight plastic container, add some water into it, take the peel, chop it into small pieces, add it into the water, tightly close the lid, put it in a place where there is no sunlight at all. Completely cover, completely put it into darkness. That is one big trick. And after 15 days, that banana peels will release some fibers, and that fiber is a nutrient. When you add that fiber involved water nutrient to the plant, to the root ball, it will go directly in contact with the roots, and it will give you a boost to a floral plant. And you can get the same way, you can get 25 flowers a day. That is the trick. Now, can you see the next slide? How it works? Slide. So this time, am I clear? Am I clear with that banana peel trick? Everyone understood? Fine. Try this. It will give you good results. Try this for sure. For sure, it will give you good results. How it works? See, you can see there a sensor is like given to the control board on which many sensors are placed. And that information will be sent into the cloud storage. And from that cloud storage, you can access it from your mobile, from your, like, what do you say? Mobile interface, user interface. Can be a mobile phone, it can be a tab or laptop or something, desktop or anything. For example, there's a plant in your house, and you're staying away from your house in some other different country. And if your plant requires some water or anything, through this IoT technology, it will send an alert to your smartphone wherever you're in the world. You can open the app, or else you can open the browser. You can open that particular segment where the sensor laser or something is blinking. you should attend it immediately. If it wants water, if it wants temperature, nutrient, humidity, light source, moisture, nutrients, whatever it might be, you can monitor it there itself. You can send water, you can send the nutrients and everything. Everything is coded in such a way that all the operations gets performed with ease. This is how it works actually. You can see in the next slide. See, sensor 6 is blinking. Adjust the moisture level. It shows you like that in your smartphone, in your mobile interface. This is how it looks. What are the advantages of this thing? It uses only 1/20th of water compared to the traditional soil-based method. As I said you already, the water will be recycling. And other thing is there are no, like, it doesn't require any pesticides for or any chemicals added, anything. It can, like, for example, in the size of this palm, you can grow 20 to 25 plants vertically. You can grow 20 to 25 plants vertically on the size of this palm. Better to share today's PPT. Nice, more informative, sir. Thank you. For sure, we'll share it. No worries about changing seasons, because irrespective of the season, you can grow any flower, any plant, except the trees. You can grow anything. How is it different? It provides a cross-platform application for you can view the data, like plants humidity levels, plants moisture levels, what situation and what stage the plant is. Does it require water? Does it require photosynthesis? Does it require chlorophyll? Everything can be monitored. And you can have complete automation on each and every plant. Each and every plant's data will be monitored and will be revealed to you in your smartphone or else your user interface. This was my first prototype. This was my first prototype. It's on vertical farming. You can see, can everyone see this prototype picture here? Thank you, Snehit. See, yeah, fine. You can see a bucket there. From that bucket, the water will be pumped up to that top part, and from that point, the water gets segregated and falls down as in form of rain, getting in contact with all the roots. So that the plant will be growing like this, as a branch out of like a branch which is growing. This was just a prototype. This was the product which I performed, which I showcased. And this is vertical farming example. And this is a prototype of horizontal farming. As you can see, the same pattern is repeated again. The water goes in, gets in contact with the nutrient water, and gets collected again into the same water base. This is horizontal farming. Generally, these are the user cases for hydroponics. Like in September 2017, I've pitched it in front of our ex-Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu. And fortunately, we have received World Third for this. So this is about Parna Technologies. The plant and depends on the accessories which you put, like the content of the quantity of clay pebbles and everything. Like if we plant tomato, for a tomato, if you want to grow tomato, I suggest you to go for horizontal farming, because any vegetable plant on growing puts on some weight, it increases some weight. Okay, in order to sustain that weight, you can see, like just let me show you this picture again. You can see, if you see this horizontal farming wala system, you can see a wooden support there for the whole pipelines. You can see a wooden support there. When a vegetable plant grows on, it puts on some weight. In order to sustain that weight for that pipeline, we have given this wooden support. We have given this wooden support so that wooden support can sustain that weight. So for a plant like tomato, I suggest you this. Cost, it depends, Aditya. It depends completely on the model which you take, the type of model which you take, and plant customization, like what all plants you want. If you want a high-end plant, it varies. The cost varies. Like high-end automation, cost varies, etc. And our recent works which we did. See, you can see this. This is one. Can you see the picture? Excuse me. Can you see the picture? Yeah, fine. This is one format of what do you say, vertical gardening. And just a second. What happened to my laptop? Oh my god. This is other format. Like just a second, I'll be back. My laptop, I need to plug in the charger for 1 second. Just give me 1 second. laptop on the sorry participants, like my laptop has given a trouble, unfortunately. I guess I don't know what happened to it. I need to send it to a doctor as soon as possible, guys. So thank you, guys. Like that is what I thought of showing it to you, like my way of working and everything. And that's one of my idea. Like Parna Technologies, like it's going in a good way. It's running successfully, and I've seen some messages. I think so. Like yeah. Oh no. And now let me tell you, like, is it okay if I take 10 more minutes? Guys, is it okay if I take 10 more minutes? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. I love you too. Fine. My second venture is Mrida Epi Farms. Guys, you should know this immediately. You should know this, because why I'm saying this one is to you is, for example, if there's a beehive in your colony, in your society, or in your apartment, beehive, what will you do? Please answer me in your chat box, in this chat box. What will you do? If you have a beehive, a big beehive in your colony or a society or in your house, what you do? What will you do? Burn it. Madhu Kusumanchi, that's very violent dude. That's really violent. Remove it is a good option. We keep them as it is and wait until it leaves. Okay. That's a good thing, Vandana ji. General thing that is done. Yeah, that is the general thing which is done, Madhu. Yes, sir. I'll tell you the current Iranian current situation of honeybees right now. Do you know we have there are 44 species of honeybees in whole world. There are 44 species. And in India itself, we have 3 species of honeybees: Apis cerynea, Apis florea, and Apis dorsata. We have these 3 species of honeybees in India. But unfortunately, there are 2 breeds, like 2 species called Apis florea and Apis dorsata, which are almost extinct. You can find it, like if you come to Apis florea, you can find it only in backwaters of Kerala. And whereas Apis dorsata, you can find it only in Himalayas. But the honeybees which are visible to us, to our naked eye right now in front of us, which are moving, are Apis cerynea. They are also called rock bee. And I will agree to it. I'll agree to what Vandana ji said. We'll keep them aside and it'll wait until it leaves. Yes, ma'am, you are true. If it is an Indian breed, if it is Apis cerynea, it'll not stay more than 15 to 20 days. It'll leave. It'll move away by its own, because the queen of Apis cerynea won't stay in a particular place for a longer period. Put smoke, let it leave, so that no one's gonna bite by them. Okay, Srinivas, that's you're up to one part. You came up to one part, but there's some different ball game included in it. I'll let you know when we. Yeah, it improves pollination, sir. Yes, sir, Anil, sir. That's true. Pollination is the major important thing which we should have, right? Which we should make sure it happens. You know what? The major problem which we are facing, which the farmers are facing as of now, is they don't have proper pollination technique. They don't have honeybees actually. We don't have honeybees. Whatever honeybees we are finding, what we are doing is like we are burning them, or else like mercilessly killing them. That is the problem which we are seeing, which we are noticing right now. But what I have noticed is, you can do one thing. There's a thing called isopentyl acetate. It's nothing but it's a mixture of cow dung and also coconut, the extra waste of coconut. These 2 things, like when mixed together as a small brick sort of thing, when you burn it, there'll be a smoke. If you release that smoke on honeybees, they'll not stay for a longer period. They'll leave, they'll move, they'll run away without harming anyone. And even we are not harming the honeybees. You know what? 80% of food which we consume are brought to our plate by the honeybees. 80% of the food which we consume, whether it is onion or anything, because without proper pollination, you can't get a perfect plant, perfect yield. Unfortunately, we have very less honeybees with us right now. So what the farmers are doing for pollination? They are using artificial pollination methods, my friend. Artificial pollination methods. Do you know what artificial pollination method is? If this is a flower, this is a paintbrush. They are just rubbing this paintbrush over the flower. They're doing like artificial pollination methods. You know what? It's happening ultimately. Because of this artificial pollination method, if a plant should give 100% yield, unfortunately, it's giving only 60% or 50% yield. They're also forming beehives as artificial. That is not artificial beehives, sir. It is apiary boxes. It's apiary boxes. It is really helpful to every farmer. They are apiary boxes. They are called apiary boxes. They are not artificial beehives. They carry these honeybees. They're spreading pollination. They're supporting farmers with the pollination. You know what? How a honeybee determines food? Yes, it's apiculture, Vandana ji. It's really appreciated. It's apiculture. At least you know about it. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting. Probably many of you might know, but many won't. Sir, there is some sort of disturbance, not audible clearly. Am I audible now, Priya? No response. Fine. Let me continue. You know how a honeybee identifies food and conveys the message with the team? That's a different story, like really interesting story, how a honeybee determines its, idea, like the district direction and everything, how it suggests to this other team. You know what? They have a 45-degree acute angle. They'll move in the direction actually. That top point is sun. This point is the base point is the direction of the food, and this point is hive. This is a 45-degree acute angle. This is the sun, this is the direction for the food, and this is the hive. And this, like according to this angle, the honeybees convey the food direction. If one honeybee notices some food in some particular direction, if it is an Indian bee, it can go up to 2 kilometer radius. If it is an Italian bee, if an Italian bee, Apis mellifera, it can go up to 5 kilometer radius. And that point, at that particular point where the food is, this direction, in this direction, the honeybee will stand here. It will dance. It will dance in 8 shape. In the shape of 8, it will dance. That means there is food in that direction. You know what? In order to calculate the distance, that like when it dances, it is pakka that there is food in that direction. But in order to calculate the distance, you know what it does? The abdomen part of that honeybee, if it waves that part very fast, it means the direction is very low. The direction is very low if it waves it very fast. If it waves it very slow, it is quite far. This is it. This is the honeybee formula. In order to identify the food. You know what? The queen bee, it's like a different a kingdom. It's a kingdom sort of thing for honeybees. You know what? A queen lays 2 types of eggs, fertile and unfertile. And from the fertile, they'll be like, what do you say? Queen and worker will be coming out, and from unfertile, male and drone will be coming out. If the worker bee doesn't come out, because it doesn't come back to the hive to feed the queen, you know what it happens? This drone bee will go and kill the worker bee mercilessly. The reason is it didn't come back. It didn't come back. That is the reason it gets killed. If I'm walking on the road, if one honeybee, one random honeybee comes and stings me, like all other honeybees comes and sting me only. Even if some person is walking beside me, it doesn't attack that person. You know why? Can anyone say this? If one honeybee stings me, all the honeybees also come and sting me only. If anyone is walking beside me, it doesn't harm anyone. You know what? You know why? Can anyone say this to me? Because, okay, fine, I'll let you know, because we are running short of time. Because they follow the rule of coordination. Okay, but that's not up to the mark. Like you are half the way. Follow the queen. Sorry, Pratyusha, the queen doesn't come out. The queen stays in the hive only. The queen will never come out until and unless it got vexed up with the place. Teamwork? No. Rishita Srinivas, you are 90% near to the answer. 95% I can say. When a bee stings you, it releases scent. It releases a scent sort of fragrance liquid on your body. And that liquid, all the bees comes and attracts to that liquid, and they follow you. They run behind you. That will happen. Good, Rishita. That's really good. You know what? The basic thing which you need to take care of. When a honeybee stings you, don't pluck it out like this. Never pluck out like this. These are the basic things we should keep in your mind when a honeybee stings you. Never pluck it out like this. Flick it out like this. Flick it out. Never pluck it out. Flick it out. You know why? When you flick it out, a small part of venom sac stays in your veins, in your nerves. Small part, nano part of venom sac. And that venom sac acts like a medicine to cure arthritis, sugar and diabetes. That's a very good medicine. Organic, natural medicine. You know how much they are charging for this thing? If you go to Araku Valley, they are taking around 15,000 for one honeybee sting. For that, they'll make the bee sting you. They'll flick it out. For that thing, they're charging 15,000 rupees. Natural medicine, bee sting, bee venom. There are many things to learn about honeybees. If anyone wants to learn more about it, please do let me know. With this, I'll wind it up. I've taken more than 20 minutes of your time. Are you doing PhD in this project? Someone's texted no, I can't see your message. Privately, okay, fine. Someone asked me, are you doing PhD in this subject? No, ma'am, I'm not doing any PhD in this subject. It's out of my research. It's really out of my research. I did this. I'm working on it since 1 year. I did whole research on it. I attended, sir, I wanted to know more about honeybees. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll definitely help you. I'll be sharing my contact details. Like I think there's a poster which got circulated in your groups. You're too good in this. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If anyone's interested to learn more about this honeybees or else hydroponics part, I guess there's a poster which got circulated in your WhatsApp groups. There is my phone number. There's my email ID on it. You can contact with me on it. You can ping me. I'm available on WhatsApp. I'm available on call. I'll type my mail ID here for everyone. So this is my mail ID. You can see my mail ID. That's my mail ID. You can contact me on it. We would like your prototype to excel soon. Thank you, Snehit. Thank you so much. Snehit, I guess you remember those old days, man. Buddy, you remember those old days? Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging, Snehit. Thank you, Anil, sir. The group, the coordinator, student coordinator, Srinivas, will be sending you my other details, my LinkedIn profile and my phone, my WhatsApp number and everything on to you on groups. One of the best sessions. Thank you so much. He'll be sending you my contact number. You can either call me also. That will be really, like, if I'm able to help you, that's really a good thing for me. And one more thing, this is not an end to MIP sessions. Like a speaker coming and speaking might be an end, but we are coming out with a bang on. There will be a new event called Reinvent, which will be launched very soon. Reinvent is a new thing completely. Once you'll get to know, oh, fine, many messages are coming. Sorry, I didn't see the messages. I'm really sorry. Excellent session, inspiring session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akshita, Naushin, Priya Patil, Pujita, Neha, Anil sir. Anil sir, I'm really impressed with you, sir. The way you speak. Now, apart from my like, what do you say? Now I'm back to my program lead post of Make India Proud. Back to the post. So I should thank many people actually, name by name. Anil sir, Akshita Gowda, Akshita Gaud, Akshita Bairu, Raju Gimre. There are many more people like Venugopal Rao sir, Tejpreet Singh. Tejpreet Singh is here like for every day. Thank you, Tejpreet. Yogesh sir, all of you, like I need to, like, there are many names. There are many names actually. Thank you so much for attending these sessions. And anything, if you want internships for all the graduation students, if you want internships, Parna Technologies is providing internships also. You can be a part of, you can be an intern of Parna Technologies, and Mrida Epifarms will be in action very soon. We are in action already, but our honeybees are in feeding period now. They are in the feeding period. In very soon they'll be in action. So thank you for your effort and sharing information. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. With this, I'll wind up. I think so. Let me come to back to my program lead post. Fine, sir. What sort of internships? Internships include for what you can say for mechanical students, AutoCAD, CATIA. If you are good in it, you can come for the internship. For IT, EC, and CSC students, if you're good in Arduino coding, microcontroller coding, you can come with me. That's it. If you're any agriculture student, you can have a proper agricultural internship. This is what it is about. And one more thing, for sure, everyone will get a participation certificate, sir. Within 2 days, right from today, we are done with this. What do you say? Like, we are done with this season now. Within 2 days, probably on Thursday, you'll be getting your certificates on your mails, on your mail IDs which you have provided us. You'll be getting an e-certificate. And thank you everyone, each and everyone, for attending this GIST session. Without you, GIST 2020 wouldn't be this successful. I should mention this in a quotation part. Without you, audience, you are a real plus point for us. Without you, see, for example, without audience, without for any picture, new picture, without audience, will that be a successful picture or a hit picture? No, it will be an utter flop. Even the same way, GIST 2020, because of you only, it's a major hit. Thank you so much, everyone. For degree students, is there any internship? Yes, anyone can come for internship. Anyone can come for internship. You can talk, you can text me or you can mail me. Probably I prefer mail. You can mail me. But if it is any emergency, our team will provide you my number too. There's a new event called Reinvent, which is going to come, and Make India Proud have many initiatives too. We will be sharing those initiatives with you very soon. With this, thank you guys. Adios. Signing off, Narendra Rahul. Bye bye.